The Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service offers an extraordinary opportunity for those seeking a professional career in funeral service. In the next few minutes, we want to tell you a bit about the school and what makes it so very special. Our objective is to provide a vocational post-secondary teaching institution offering an education in the mortuary arts and sciences that will prepare graduates to become licensed funeral directors and embalmers. To assure that Commonwealth is the finest school of its kind, we've established our success formula on several elements: faculty, curriculum, facilities, affiliations, and location. Let's take a look at each. The most important element in Commonwealth's success formula is the faculty. While very important, each of our other elements depend on an outstanding staff. The most finely honed curriculum is totally dependent on those who teach it.
We have teachers that have very, very large amounts of knowledge. I think sometimes that Mr. Layton might know every person in the country that has anything to do with funeral home services, because he does. Mr. Moen has more knowledge than most books, and as well as some of the other instructors, and they're very good at sharing it.
Each teacher has their own unique personality, but as far as the lectures and the classes go, they're awesome.
All the teachers are wonderful to work with. I had an excellent open house tour with Patsy Moreno when I first decided I wanted to come down here. I just dropped in and said, hey, I think I want to be a student. So she took very good care of me, took me around, came over here to the museum, looked around, and just had a wonderful time.
I believe one of the few schools in the country in which all the faculty are licensed in the profession. I had no background in funeral service myself. I really only wanted to be out in the working world long enough to make it sound like I knew what I was talking about in the classroom. But my background was in education, so ultimately I did want to teach. But one advantage of our faculty being out in the working world is, although we prepare them to have success in the licensure exam, we also can know what it's like out there in the working world because we've been there. And I think that gives them a unique perspective that very few schools throughout the country can offer.
Every one of our staff is licensed. They have experience in the industry, so that when we're visiting with students, we're lecturing, we're talking to them, we're actually speaking from actual experience. I think that really brings a lot to the classroom. So we have excellent faculty, a lot of longevity, faculty who've been here for years, who are really acquainted with the industry and with the classroom, and so I think that's important.
In order to graduate with the Associate of Applied Science degree, the student must complete the General Education Core, which can be finished prior to entry into the Commonwealth Institute, or can be taken here at the college. These courses include biology, college algebra, general psychology, English composition and rhetoric, and U.S. history. Just a few of the specialized courses include forensic pathology, mortuary law, embalming, restorative art, and funeral directing. Commonwealth features an accelerated curriculum with traditional course studies along with practical experience in the workplace. This accelerated curriculum means that as a Commonwealth graduate, you enter the workforce more quickly.
Here at Commonwealth, I teach mainly in the funeral service arts, mortuary administration, funeral directing, history of funeral service, business law, mortuary law, psychology of grief. We have probably the best clinical embalming program of any school in the country, where the students are doing embalming for both medical schools here in Houston, as well as for Harris County bereavement services. I think we're the only school in the country that every Friday our students go to the funeral home that has the Harris County contract for bereavement services, and they get hands-on helping families, conducting funeral services, dismissing funeral services, and I don't think there's another school in the country that offers that.
I love the whole idea of start to finish. I like from first call until final disposition. I love it all. It's great. I'm actually serving my provisional for both funeral directing and embalming right as I'm attending school, so hopefully I'll have it all done within a year's time.
We have a great curriculum. We really have a hands-on curriculum, one that we think prepares students, and I think from what we've seen over the years, We do a darn good job of preparing students for getting into the funeral home. We have a great network of folks that are out there in the field. We just, as I mentioned before, we're a licensed funeral home. We're not just an educational institution. So we really believe that we offer a very, very well-rounded experience for the students who decide to make Commonwealth Institute their home for whatever period of time that they're here. We also have gone ahead and developed courses and programs that are online. So for those students, we understand that the face of today's student is changing, and we offer greater access now for those who possibly work or have families or aren't able to be here 4 days a week in the classroom. We offer a whole range of courses that are online, and we're very proud of that. We've had a lot of students who have gone through that program and have found that to be an excellent way of accessing course material, and our students have done very well who have gone through the online program. So we have a lot of choices out there, a lot of options for students.
Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service is understandably proud of their facilities, which include spacious classrooms, a full auditorium, a state-of-the-art embalming lab, library, and computer lab. Students also have access to the nationally recognized Museum of Funeral History, which is located in the adjacent building.
We are here with the National Museum of Funeral History, and being the history teacher, it's great to be able to talk about these things in class and then take the students down, which I do, and give them a guided tour of the museum where they see the actual artifacts that we've been talking about in school.
When you hear something in class, you can actually go and see it, which for me is very important because I'm very visual.
We're affiliated with the University of Texas Medical School, Baylor Medical School, Harris County Social Services. Our students are involved in many of the different aspects of funeral service. So it's not simply sitting in a classroom like it might be at other places. And I've taught, I've been faculty at other schools. Here, they're going to have their time in the classroom, but they're going to be able to experience all the aspects of funeral service, from the preparation room to working at the county cemetery to being at the county funeral home, working with families and helping out those funeral services. It's very important, and I'm very proud of what we do.
The Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service is located in Houston, the nation's fourth largest city, which means students will be able to enjoy a wide assortment of cultural activities and professional sports. Several theaters for the performing arts are located in Houston's theater district. Enjoy classics and the newest plays performed by an outstanding repertory company at the Alley Theater. And at the several other performing art venues in Houston, you can see productions from the Houston Opera, enjoy Broadway musicals, and the renowned Houston Symphony, and of course, professional sports. There's Space Center Houston, a diverse cultural atmosphere featuring international festivals, world-class shopping, Houston's outstanding medical center, ways to get everywhere, and just minutes away, beautiful Gulf Coast beaches. In the past few minutes, we've seen what makes the Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service an excellent choice for funeral service education. But there are other things to take into consideration. For example, Commonwealth will help you navigate through the maze of financial aid.
The Department of Education allows us to offer financial aid to our students through the government. We have that. We have a very knowledgeable staff in that area. We offer scholarships. There's a number of scholarships that are out there, grants, things of that nature. And so we do our best for those students who are in need to help them to acquire the funds to reach their educational goals.
Once you've graduated, Commonwealth will provide valuable help in placement
Of course, we can't promise, placement, and that's just one thing. We don't have a crystal ball and can't see into the future, but absolutely, we go out of our way to assist students, whether it's preparing their resume, reviewing that, looking that over, to helping them with the interview, and of course we cover that in class, but we're happy to go ahead and give them some tips, some how-tos and so forth to actually making a connection with different funeral homes that are out there. And we have served so many students from all over the country that we really have a very good network of individuals in just about every state that call us when they're in need of help, and they're in need of a licensed funeral director or embalmer. And we feel very good about that. We can put our students in contact with those individuals.
Finally, you can find no better recommendation than from the people who are most familiar with Commonwealth.
I'm actually the 4th generation of my family that's going into the funeral directing and embalming. And it's a family business that we have back home. My dad came here, I want to say about 30 years ago, and then followed that was my mom. And then about 2 years ago was my brother that attended Commonwealth Funeral, and they all came to this school, Commonwealth Funeral Institute.
I cannot tell you how absolutely lucky I feel to have found this school and lived here.
Well, my mom went here, my grandfather went here, so it's kind of a tradition and a history behind the school, or with the school, as far as my family goes.
We also have the opportunity to work on cases from Baylor and UT, and then also the county cases, and I didn't see that at some of the other schools I looked at.
Commonwealth Institute relies on and can really boast excellent facilities, and that doesn't matter if you don't have great staff, which we do. Every one of our staff is licensed. They have experience in the industry, so that when we're visiting with students, we're lecturing, we're talking to them, we're actually speaking from actual experience. I think that really brings a lot to the classroom.
The Commonwealth Institute of Funeral Service, an extraordinary opportunity.